वृंदावन धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगामाई यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please join our Tuesday Sangha. You can come closer. Tuesday Sangha is for everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You want to come here? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Сегодня праздник?
Да, просто я не могла это положить на комод.
Я поняла. Вау. Супер, супер. Да, да, да. Ты будешь здесь сидеть с нами молиться, окей? Только громко делай, хорошо? Внизу ты там можешь поесть его. Да. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please take a seat. Join our Tuesday Sangha. Those who would like to chant Maha Mantra and read Bhagavad Gita together, please come closer. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You can move a little bit to give yourself a little bit of space, right? Just can move it closer. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. My name is Vrajalalana. Welcome to Tuesday Sangha. Tuesday Sangha is a weekly program. Every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. we meet to chant one round of Maha Mantra and to read Bhagavad Gita together so that we know how to apply the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in our daily life. It is also a great opportunity for you to ask questions and get clarification. By the raise of your hand, please show who is here at the temple, at this location for the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Okay, congratulations, welcome. Very nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Okay, is there anyone here who haven't heard or doesn't know about anything about a Maha Mantra? Please raise your hand. Those who haven't heard of Maha Mantra? Okay. All right. So how many people? Everybody knows what Maha Mantra is? Okay. Yes. All right. So just to repeat the knowledge, it's always good to refresh. The words of Maha Mantra are here. And this is a 16-word prayer, I would say, which has the 16 names of the Lord. And those names, they have a very high potency. What is the potency of the Maha Mantra? Probably someone from the audience can say. What is the potency of the Maha Mantra? What does it do to us when we repeat the mantra? Yes. We feel peaceful. Because what happens to us? Why do we feel peaceful? What? I don't hear. Say again. It gives like clarity, right? It's clear energy. That's right. So Maha Mantra, it's the highest potent, it's the highest vibration which comes from the spiritual world. And that highest vibration, what it does to us, it purifies our existence. Our existence has several levels. We feel, we think, and we act. So by chanting the Maha Mantra, we purify all those levels. We feel happier. Who knows? Who is familiar with that happiness after chanting Maha Mantra? Please raise your hand. Okay, wonderful. Congratulations. We feel clarity. Who is familiar with that clarity after chanting the Maha Mantra? Please raise your hand. Okay, wonderful. Yes, excellent. And we act in a way which is harmonizing our life, because Maha Mantra, it connects us with the Lord, because Maha Mantra is non-different from the Lord. So by repeating the Maha Mantra, we get reconnected with the Lord, and the Lord is the absolute truth. So while we're in contact with absolute truth, that wisdom, bliss, and happiness fills us in, and we become self-complete, self-satisfied, and fully happy. Now, it sounds very easy. Is it easy to achieve? Who can share? Is it easy to achieve? Why not? Why not easy? What is the obstacle? Let's talk about it. What is the obstacle? Waking up early. Why do we need to wake up early? And what does it give, that mode of goodness? We wake up early. It makes it right. Why does morning give us a better chance to chant? How does it help us? What does it do? More sattva in the morning. So this is the energy, right? Sattva means the energy which is close to the spiritual. It's still material energy, but it's very close to the spiritual world. So that energy of happiness allows us to concentrate on the vibration better. So the secret for that happiness, for that purification, is to chant Maha Mantra with full focus, which opens the heart and which opens our mind. What happens during the day? We get distracted. We have work, we have responsibilities, we play multiple roles. And imagine you have 100% of your energy. This is the battery that you have for the day, right? And you start spending here, there, elsewhere. So attention goes, and where attention goes, what happens? Energy flows. Vaisheka Das speaks about it in his wonderful book, 4 Questions. I would recommend this book to everyone who would like to grow spiritually. So therefore, morning is the best time. How we can help ourselves now? By focusing on the sound vibration. There are several ways to do it. First of all, through the posture of the body. And those who attend this class, they've heard about it many times. This is called yoga. And yoga means connection. In this process, we will be connecting with our inner self and with the Supreme through the process of mantra meditation. Man means mind, tra, purification. Once the mind is pure, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the silence of the mind, which means that the mind can be silent when it is pure, when it is calm, right? So in order to achieve that, we will be focusing on our posture so that our mind is present here and now. Second thing is how to control our hearing. We will be chanting the mantra loud so you can hear it. When you hear the sound, you focus on it. If you hear your neighbor, this is great. So all of you help each other to hear each other well. This is the great process of Maha Mantra meditation. Who knows the meaning of the Maha Mantra? What does it mean? What is the translation? Who knows the meaning? So, dear Lord, please engage me in your service. What does it mean, engage me in your service? We are parts and parcels of the Supreme, all of us. We are spiritual, we are spirit souls. So when we ask the Lord to engage us into His service, it means that we would like to be in our natural constitutional position of a spirit soul. We belong to the spiritual world. We are spirit soul that belong to the spiritual world who experience the reality of a human body and the material life. This is one of our experiences, but this is not where we belong. Our world is the spiritual world. We are eternal. Therefore, in this process, we're chanting, we're asking to be on that level of consciousness, because over there, we're eternally happy, blissful, and knowledgeable. Who would like to achieve that level? Raise your hand. Wonderful. Okay, so before we begin, let's give obeisances to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, who appeared on the earth 500 years ago and who gave Maha Mantra to us. Repeat this mantra after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Wonderful. And I will be using my Japamala beads. If you have beads, please use them. If you don't have, I would recommend having them for the next time. You can get them here at the temple during the Sunday feast. Okay? Every Sunday we have a Sunday feast from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. Okay, so let us begin. And we will be chanting again loud, and we'll be sitting straight. Okay? Let's begin. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mahamantra ki jai. It was such a heart-opening chanting. How are you feeling after that? Yes. Calm. Okay. Yes. Peaceful. Wonderful. Anyone else would like to share? Aligned. Amazing. Yes? Good. Perfect word. Wonderful. So we just chanted one round of Maha Mantra. In order to stay fully, I would say, spiritualized for the rest of the day, you need to chant 16 rounds of Maha Mantra. And the best time, of course, which is again full of energy, is morning time. So if you do the major part of your Maha Mantra meditation in the morning, then you can, if don't have enough time, you can split the rest of the rounds throughout the day. But the best result, if you chant it in the morning, and then the whole day will be spiritual, blissful, and full of knowledge. Hare Krishna. So now we will read Bhagavad Gita. Is there anyone here who haven't heard of Bhagavad Gita before? Please raise your hand. Everyone knows. Perfect. Anyone here who haven't read Bhagavad Gita before? You? Okay. Would you like to read with us today? If you want, you can join us and we will be reading. Each of us will read today. You have to go? Okay. The next time, join us for reading. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay. So reading Bhagavad Gita is one of the most powerful spiritual practices. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself. Both the holy name of the Lord, which is the Maha Mantra, and Bhagavad Gita is the sound incarnation of the Lord. So each chapter actually represents the part of the body of the Lord. By having Bhagavad Gita at home, you spiritualize your whole place. Whatever Bhagavad Gita is, there is Krishna and Arjuna, the victory is guaranteed. It is said, Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita speaks actually about it in the 18th chapter. Okay? So this is a very, very powerful book that you are holding in your hands. And Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord 5,000 years ago. It is a spiritual, enlightening conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is a friend of Krishna, and in the future, he is becoming his devotee. Arjuna is in a very difficult situation, which is described in chapter number 1. Arjuna is going through a very traumatic emotions. He has to fight with his relatives, which is a very, very difficult situation for him. Very, very heartbreaking situation. And Arjuna does not like to fight. He doesn't want. He would like to renounce. But he's a warrior, and he has his duty to protect the truth, to protect the law. Now, what to do? Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita, and he starts with the knowledge of the soul, and it's chapter number 2. Therefore, many of us can be in a situation like Arjuna's, where we are in a difficulty, we don't know what to do, we just want to give up. That's it. We don't want to deal with that, right? Renounce. Sit at home, be calm, meditate. But this is not the way out. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita is the path for us to self-realization. Once you read it fully, you understand Arjuna, you understand the message of the Lord, and you reconnect with that message. So whatever Arjuna is developing and through his consciousness, this is what we are going through. This is what we are developing as souls by witnessing, by reading and studying this spiritual conversation. And His Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada says, never stop reading Bhagavad Gita. Why? If you read it once, does it mean you understand Bhagavad Gita? Does it mean you follow the wisdom Bhagavad Gita? No. I've read it more than 50 times. Does it mean I know it fully? No. Every time I open something else. Bhagavad Gita is limitless. It is the Lord himself. And layer by layer, our karma is accumulated from multiple lifetimes in layers, which are like samskaras, sitting in our psychology, body, mentality, and all over, right? So layer by layer, this, I would say, existence gets purified through reading, understanding, and studying Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada says in chapter number 4 that we need to study Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a spiritual teacher. For all of us, Srila Prabhupada is a spiritual teacher, and he guides us through the Bhagavad Gita. He explains every verse. So Bhagavad Gita has Sanskrit and then English translation. Srila Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gita into English, and later Bhagavad Gita was translated in all languages, whether it's Hindu, whether it's Russian, Ukrainian. You can find any language. If you have a friend and you would like to give them a gift, Bhagavad Gita is the best gift you can give to your friend. And this is the best service that we can do to Srila Prabhupada, who wants us to read Bhagavad Gita and understand the message of the Lord, get spiritualized, and become happy. So today we are reading chapter number 5, text number 12. And the way we are reading, I will start the first text, and then we will go one by one, so every one of you will have a chance to get in touch with the spiritual knowledge, vibration, ask questions if you have any, share your realizations. Before we begin, let's give our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Guravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine. And before we read any Shastric book, we need to give obeisances to the Absolute Truth by chanting the mantra 3 times, and you can repeat it after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Wonderful. Okay, whoever wants a mic, it's a wonderful way to be heard. I will pass it to you. Like, I will read the first. So it is actually chapter number 5, text 11. Page number 238. Okay. Kayena manasa buddhya kevala indriyarapi yogina karma kurvani sangam tyaktvatma sudhaye. Translation. The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. So here we are speaking about the yogis, those who are practicing spiritual, the devotional service. And there are different ways on how we can practice this. The message here that the yogis are those who abandon all attachments. So what kind of attachments are we talking about here? The yogis who abandon the attachments, abandoning the attachments. What kind of attachments are this? Yes, material attachments. Material, that's right. Yes. So abandoning material attachments. How those attachments manifest themselves? How do we know that there is material attachments so that we need them to abandon? So material attachments, they have symptoms. It's anger, greed, envy, frustration. So if we have those feelings, it means that we have some attachments. Chapter number 2 speaks about it. You can read about it, okay? How those attachments are created. So yogis abandon those attachments and they act with body. In other words, they engage their body, they engage their mind, their intelligence, and even their senses for the purpose of the purification. So what is that action that purifies? What is this? Huh? It's what? What is the process of purification? It's a devotional service, right? So devotional service is the process of purification. And speaking about this process of purification, there are several ways on how we can practice devotional service. Who can say what are the ways to purify ourselves, where we can engage our body, mind, intelligence, and even senses? What are the ways? Kirtan. Does everyone know what kirtan is? Yes? Please raise your hand who doesn't know. Okay, so kirtan, I see the person over there, is a collective singing of Maha Mantra. When a lot of people, like a group of people who look at the deity and they perform with musical instrument, they sing Maha Mantra. And there can be different musical, what is it called? Melodies, I would say, yeah, with different melodies. So this is kirtan. So kirtan, one of the ways, right, where we engage our body, our hearing, our senses, right, our mind, because the mind, the mantra is purifying the mind. And how do we engage our intelligence when we chant the kirtan, when we sing kirtan? We, in our heart, we dedicate it to the Lord. We do it for the pleasure of the Lord. This is how we engage our intelligence. What else we can do? What are the other ways of devotional service which are purifying? So, what is it? Dancing for the Lord. What else? What is it? Meditation. Meditation, yes, that we've done. Just Maha Mantra meditation. What else? Book distribution. What is book distribution? Yeah, giving Bhagavad Gita to people. Giving Bhagavad Gita, it's the greatest service, which is very purifying on the global level, because the more people know this message, the happier they have a chance to become happy, right? What else? Preparing prasadam. What is prasadam? Can you please explain? That's right. So we cook first the dish which is palatable for the Lord, right? And then we offer it to the Lord, so that food becomes spiritualized. So this is prasadam that is waiting for you at the end of the session. Spiritual food, okay? So we all engage our body, mind, and intelligence into the process of purification. Okay, wonderful. Purport: when one acts in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the senses of Krishna, see, this is the difference. We can act for our own sense gratification when we don't hear the message of the Lord, when we do whatever we want without caring whether Lord likes it or doesn't like it, right? That will be our acting for our senses. So this actually creates attachment. This is how our senses become impure. And this is where greed comes in place, anger comes in place, because what happens if we act for our senses? Is it possible to satisfy our senses without the Lord? Possible? You give so many sweets to yourself, will you be satisfied? You give so much money to yourself, will you be satisfied? No. It's impossible to satisfy, right? So then greed comes in place. We become afraid of losing what we have. Anger comes in place if we lose it, or if we don't get what we want, we become frustrated, right? So if we act for our own senses, attachment is created. If we act for the senses of the Lord, we are free from attachment. Even because our senses actually belong to the Lord, we become automatically satisfied. So this is the secret here, which is spoken in a purport. Any action, whether of the body, mind, intelligence, or even the senses, is purified of material contamination. So again, in order to purify our mind, intelligence, and our existence of material contamination, we need to act for the satisfaction of the Lord. How to act for the satisfaction of the Lord? Who knows? What does make the Lord happy? How to satisfy the Lord? How to satisfy? How to show love to anyone? Let's get any human being. How to show that love to anyone? What would you do? What is it? Help them. How will you help them? Okay, how will you know that they have a problem? By having a conversation. This is the conversation. So through that conversation, what do we get? Understanding. First of all, we need to understand the person. We need to understand their needs, right? This is supreme person, not just a mere person, supreme person. He speaks Bhagavad Gita and he speaks everything what he likes. Everything what he wants Arjuna to do, this is the same thing he wants us to do. Okay? So if we understand Bhagavad Gita, we will understand the Lord. The Lord says here, you can understand me only by devotional service. So what is devotional service? Acting for the satisfaction of the Lord. Meaning what? Loving. When we love someone, we don't do what we want. We do what he or she wants. Okay? This is devotional service. Even between each other, we can practice devotional service when we do what is better for the person at that moment. Okay? If the child needs to go to bed, but we want to enjoy with him, no, the child needs to go to bed. That's it. Right? This is love. This is service. Okay? Okay. There are no material reactions resulting from activities of Krishna conscious person. So Krishna conscious person is the one, again, who is focusing on the Lord and who is acting in the way that satisfies the senses of the Lord. Therefore, purified activities, which are generally called sat achara, can be easily performed by acting in Krishna consciousness. Sri Rupa Goswami, in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and this is a wonderful book which is called Nectar of Devotion. If you would like to understand all steps of devotional service, I would encourage you to have this book. 1.2.187 describes this as follows. Aha asya hare dasye karmana manasa jira nikila svapyavasthasu Jivan mukhatsa uchyate A person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna with his body, mind, intelligence, and words, is a liberated person, even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. What kind of liberation Srila Prabhupada is talking about here? What is he liberated from, this Krishna conscious person? Material attachments, right. And in other words, material attachments also called karma. So karma attaches us. There is karma, good karma, bad karma, means that as if there is no other way but to follow the path of karma, right? So karma is attachment. So the person who acts in Krishna consciousness becomes liberated. He transcends all that karmic influence. He has no false ego, for he does not believe that he is this material body. In other words, false ego is the mentality which tells us you are this body. Okay? You are, and this body, what else? If I'm this body, then probably I am this microphone. Yes? Or I'm this car. Because it's all the continuation of our body, but I'm not this body. So this is, the false ego tells I'm this body. No false ego means I'm not this body. Understanding the difference between I am and my body. It's my hand, it's not me, it's my hand. Okay, yes, this is my voice, but it's not me. Yeah, so this is the difference. Or that he possesses this body. He knows that he is not this body, and that this body does not belong to him. So how will that help you if we gain that understanding that I'm not this body and whatever I have does not belong to me? How will it help us in life? What becomes possible for us with this thinking, feeling, and understanding? Yes? No lamentation. No lamentation. Okay. What else becomes possible if we understand that I'm not this body? Something happens to this body, it's not me. I'm not this body. What is it? More focused. Yes. So more focused means priority, right? We're setting up priorities. What will become a priority for us if we understand that I'm not this body? Krishna becomes priority. That's right. If I'm the spirit soul and I'm just using this body, today I have this body, tomorrow I'll have another body, I'm not this body. There are so many living entities with different bodies, right? So what becomes priority? Krishna becomes priority. What else becomes priority? Devotional service. Because when we perform devotional service, we are in our constitutional position. We feel ourselves that we are spirit soul because we're engaged in the action of the soul. This is the action of the soul to serve the Lord. And this is what we ask the Lord to purify us when we chant Maha Mantra. Please engage me in your devotional service because I belong actually to you. I'm your part and parcel, right? Okay. He himself belongs to Krishna and the body too belongs to Krishna. And later on in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will speak that he has two energies, both spiritual and material. Therefore, our body is a material energy, our soul is a spiritual energy. Both of this belongs to the Lord. When he applies everything produced of the body, mind, and intelligence, words, life, wealth, etc., whether he may have within his possession, to Krishna's service, he is at once dovetailed with Krishna. In other words, here it is another way to serve and engage everything. If we engage everything in the service of the Lord, everything that we produce with our body, mind, intelligence, if we engage it with the Lord, we become liberated from karma and we become connected with Krishna. So what disconnects us from the Lord? It's our thinking I'm this body, but body is the what? Reservoir of karma, right? And we start living our karma instead of living our spiritual nature. Okay. He is one with Krishna and he is devoid of the false ego. False ego also means that thinking of ourselves something that we are not. So for example, we may think, I'm not that wise. Is it true? No, this is false ego. Or, I'm not this intelligent, or I'm the most intelligent person in the world. This is all false ego. It's not true. Because spirit soul is blissful, knowledgeable, and happy. That's it. And very, very individual. Very individual. Okay. He is one with Krishna and he's devoid of false ego that leads one to believe that he is the body. This is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. All right. So is this verse understood by everyone? Okay, let's continue.
युक्तः कर्म फलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्त कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the results of all activities to me.
And here Krishna is giving us again another secret. In order to be in peace, right, we need to offer all of the results of our activities to the Lord. So this soul is called steadily devoted soul. This is the secret of peace.
Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled.
That's right. And greediness is a result of what? How would you explain why we have that greediness?
Desire.
Is a result of what?
Excessive desires.
Is what? Speak now.
Excessive desires.
Excessive results. So who is greedy for the fruits? So when a person has that greed, what does it mean? What is he lacking actually?
He's looking for material objects. So he wants more material objects. That is his greed.
That's right. So when do we need more material objects? Because what are we feeling internally? That we are looking for more and more material objects. Just imagine if you're in peace, you're satisfied, you're happy, will you look for so many material objects? Will you? No. So when this greed comes, it is a symptom of what?
Attachment.
And attachment is a result of what?
False ego.
And false ego is a result of what? Disconnection with the Supreme. Imagine you are a branch of a tree and you're broken from the tree. You're no longer attached to that tree which actually supplies all of the juices and nourishments and everything. What happens? We start feeling what? First of all, disconnection. Secondly, deficiency. We are in a deficit, right? And that deficiency, actually creates that greedy. We start looking for, okay, I will supplement it. I will replace it with this. But does it work? No, it doesn't. All we need to do is to reestablish that lost connection. And then that greediness will disappear by itself.
The difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in bodily consciousness is that the former is attached to Krishna, whereas the latter is attached to the results of his activities. The person who is attached to Krishna and works for him only is certainly a liberated person, and he has no anxiety over the results of his works.
Why doesn't he have any anxiety over the result, the person in Krishna consciousness? What allows him not to have this anxiety over the results? He's attached to Krishna, and therefore, if he is devoid of false ego, he understands these results are not mine. I'm doing it for the Lord. Whatever Lord decides will happen, but I'm doing it in the best way I can. These are not my results. This is not my body. This is not my house. Krishna gave it to me for the service. I'm applying it. That's all. So there is no anxiety because he's not afraid of losing. He's not excited about gaining. He's self-complete.
In the Bhagavatam, the cause of anxiety over the result of an activity is explained as being one's functioning in the conception of duality, that is, without the knowledge of the absolute truth.
And what is the duality? what is the conception of a duality? When we are detached from Krishna, what comes in place is cold and hot, happiness and distress, winter and summer, and joy and suffer. This is the duality that the person is going through who is not in Krishna consciousness. So in Krishna consciousness, again, we are free from that duality.
Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. In Krishna consciousness, there is no duality. All that exists is a product of Krishna's energy, and Krishna is all good. Therefore, activities in Krishna consciousness are on the absolute plane. They are transcendental and have no material effect. One is therefore filled with peace in Krishna consciousness. But one who is entangled in profit calculation for sense gratification cannot have that peace. This is the secret of Krishna consciousness. Realization that there is no existence besides Krishna is the platform of peace and fearlessness.
That's right. So this is the secret realization that there is no existence besides Krishna. In other words, everything is Krishna. Material, spiritual, everything is Krishna. Everything belongs to Him. We belong to Him. This body belongs to Him. We have nothing to lose because nothing belongs to us. This is the message. Okay, thank you.
Text 13. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyate sukham vasi navatvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. Translation. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done.
So our body has 9 gates. And we are speaking about our eyes, our ears, nose, tongue. So those 9 gates, and when the embodied living entity, meaning that spiritual soul has the body with 9 gates, right? And it is in our actually power to control the activities of our senses. And therefore, it is said here, mentally renounces all actions, meaning that he is not acting for the purpose of the senses. It means that all this action is renounced. Yes? Everybody understands that, right? So the result of this, happiness. So our body is considered as like a city with the 9 gates, and the one who mentally renounces activities for those senses actually resides happily in that city. So just imagine.
The embodied soul lives in the city of 9 gates. The activities of the body, or the figurative city of the body, are conducted automatically by its particular modes of nature. The soul, although subjecting himself to the conditions of the body, can be beyond those conditions if he so desires. Owing only to forgetfulness of his superior nature, he identifies with the material body and therefore suffers. By Krishna consciousness, he can revive his real position and thus come out of his embodiment.
Okay, so this probably requires some clarification. So the body belongs to the Lord and is given to the soul for the activity, right? For the activity. So here it is said, although subjecting himself to the conditioning of the body, in other words, that the body is controlled by the modes of material nature, it is a product of material modes of nature and karma. But the soul does not relate to that. And if we, as spiritual souls, understand that we are not this body, we understand that we do not belong to the karma. We can make a choice. It is also said that if we forget about our supreme nature and start identifying ourselves with the body, we start suffering and enjoying the karma together with the body. So we have a choice, whether suffer or be eternally happy.
Therefore, when one takes to Krishna consciousness, one at once becomes completely aloof from bodily activities. In such a controlled life, in which his deliberations are changed, he lives happily within the city of nine gates.
That's right. So controlled life, meaning that we, again, act for the service of the Lord, not for our senses, but for the happiness of the Lord. If Lord says, do this, we follow. Lord speaks Bhagavad Gita, we understand Bhagavad Gita, we follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. Lord says, devotional service will help you to understand me and you will be liberated because you are my soul, you are my spirit, you are my part and parcel. So this is the way for us. And it's very easy, blissful, happy in the process. And those who try it, they're usually happy. Please raise your hand who is in the process of devotional service and have already experienced that bliss and happiness. Yes, wonderful. Perfect. And you can share with each other later on. Okay, wonderful. Okay.
The nine gates are mentioned as follows. Navatvare pure dehi hamso lilayate pahi vashi sarvasya lokasya stavarasya charasai cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is living within the body of a living entity, is the controller of all living entities all over the universe. The body consists of nine gates: 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, the anus, and the genitals. The living entity in his conditioned stage identifies himself with the body, but when he identifies himself with the Lord within himself, he becomes just as free as the Lord, even while in the body. Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.18. Therefore, a Krishna-conscious person is free from both the outer and inner activities of the material body.
Wonderful. Okay. So just to conclude for this verse, now we know what are the 9 gates. And again, to be happy in the city of the 9 gates, we can mentally control those 9 gates so that they are focused on what is satisfying the Lord. And in that case, we're not attached through those 9 gates. We may become attached through our senses. This is actually how the process of attachment works. It starts with the senses. And those senses are called the 9 gates. We can be attached through our hearing process to things which are not creating, actually, which are not the path of happiness, but can be a path of distress. Same happens with the eyes, same happens with our mind, who actually the reservoir of all of the senses. But again, the mental control means that we are looking at the things which are blissful for the Lord, which is satisfying the Lord. What can that be? It can be the deities, it can be the nature, which is the representation of the Lord, it can be the sun, which is, or the moon, which are the eyes of the Lord. It can be any art, it's the beauty of the Lord. And everything beautiful, everything great, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it's just a piece of him. So we can understand that this is all the Lord, this is all his beauty. And by thinking so, we connect ourselves, we connect every object that we see with the Lord. We understand that all of this belongs to him, and this is representation of his power, his beauty, his strength, and etc. Okay? All right, okay, let's pass the mic further. Perfect.
Okay, text 14. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya sridati prabhu na karma phala samyogam swabhavavastu pravartate. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature.
In other words, spiritual soul doesn't create any activities of the body. All of them are created by the modes of material nature, and that's why we see people with, or living entities with different potencies. Some of them are stronger, some of them are weaker, some of them, like, they're all different. So all of this is created by the modes of material nature. But spiritually, we're all blissful, we're all eternal, we're all happy and full of knowledge. We have to remember that we are not creating those activities, okay?
Purport. The living entity, as will be explained in the 7th chapter, is one of the energies or natures of the Supreme Lord, but is distinct from matter, which is another nature called inferior of the Lord. Somehow, the superior nature, the living entity, has been in contact with material nature since time immemorial.
So here's the process of our embodiment. Since time immemorial, some time ago, the living entity, the spirit soul, got in touch with the material nature. So material nature is the inferior, okay? Yes. And the spirit soul is superior nature. So inferior and superior nature, okay? So this is how this embodiment actually happened, and that's how the senses became contaminated.
The temporary body or material dwelling place which he obtains is the cause of varieties of activities and their resultant reactions. Living in such a conditional atmosphere, one suffers the result of the activities of the body by identifying himself in ignorance with the body.
Yes, so identifying oneself in ignorance means just out of lack of knowledge we think that we create those activities in the body. It's not, it's just a lack of knowledge. Ignorance means lack of knowledge. So the actual knowledge that we are spiritual soul experiencing this material reality within the human body.
It is ignorance acquired from time immemorial that is the cause of bodily suffering and distress. As soon as the living entity becomes aloof from the activities of the body, he becomes free from the reactions as well. As long as he is in the city of the body, he appears to be the master of it, but actually he is neither its proprietor nor controller of its action and reactions.
That's right. So it is said here that once we are free of this body, we stop suffering the reactions of this body. And as you can see, the dog is not experiencing what a human being is experiencing. So the dog, for example, will not be so much, I don't know, attached to watching a TV or movie or reading a book, for example, or I don't know, eating what dogs don't care about, eating sweets, for example, right? Because they're not conditioned to that. Their body is not conditioned to that. But it doesn't mean that they're in control of it. So the body is controlled by the modes of material nature, which is karma. The spirit soul is just experiencing it. Yeah.
He is simply in the midst of the material ocean, struggling for existence. The waves of the ocean are tossing him, and he has no control over them. His best solution is to get out of the water by transcendental Krishna consciousness. That alone will save him from all turmoil.
That's right. Yes. Yes. So the karma in the material world is considered as like an ocean, and by Krishna consciousness, we can get out of this ocean. It doesn't mean that we should get out of this body. It means that we need to, again, engage our body in the service of the Lord. Okay. Okay? Yeah?
Nadate kasyati tapam nachaiva sukrit bivu agyane navritti gyana tena muyanti jantava. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or precious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge.
So the Lord doesn't assume anyone's sinful or pious activities, which means that the Lord is not engaged in our karma. He doesn't create our karma. The law of karma exists. And he is not engaged in assuming who is sinful, who is pious, who is good, or who is bad.
The Sanskrit word Vibhu means the Supreme Lord who is full of unlimited knowledge, riches, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. He is always satisfied in himself, undistributed by sinful or precious activities. He does not
So
create
the
a-
Lord is not disturbed by our sinful or pious activities. He is full of strength, happiness. He is self-sufficient.
He
Okay?
does not create a particular situation for any living entity, but the living entity bewildered by ignorance, desires to put into a certain condition of life, and thereby his chain of action and reaction begins.
So here's a very important point. There is a belief that the Lord creates karma, the Lord put me into this situation, this is all because of the Lord, I'm suffering this karma. So here it is said that the Lord does not create a particular situation for any living entity. He is not engaged in that. Okay? Lord doesn't create any karma for us. He doesn't create any situation. We cannot say, I'm here, I'm suffering this because of the Lord. No. It is clearly said here that the living entity, because of lack of knowledge, meaning bewildered by ignorance, desires to put into certain conditions of life. So it's our choice and our responsibility to be in a certain situation and go through certain, again, conditions.
A living entity is by superior nature full of knowledge. Nevertheless, he is prone to be influenced by ignorance due to his limited power.
Yes, let's speak about this. The living entity, the soul itself is minute, it's very small, right? But the material nature is very big. It's like imagine human being in the ocean. And therefore, modes of material nature influence. And the living entity has the tendency to forget. It's in chapter number 2, you can read about it, that individual soul is forgetful, while the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, remembers everything. So because of our forgetfulness, that's why we need to read Bhagavad Gita all the time, because we are forgetful. We don't remember what happened on, what day is today? What day is today? July 30th, for example, 1985. Do you remember? Who remembers what you did? No, see, we are forgetful. This is the thing. But Paramatma remembers everything. Therefore, because of our forgetful nature, we can believe in something which is not true. And that's how we acquire false ego. In order to be immune from that, we need to read Bhagavad Gita, be in devotional service, and be on the level of happiness and bliss and knowledge.
The Lord is omnipotent, but the living entity is not. The Lord is Vibhu or omniscient, but the living entity is anu or atomic. Because he is a living soul, he has the capacity to desire by his free will. Such desire is fulfilled only by the omnipotent Lord.
So we have free will, but what we desire is actually fulfilled by the Lord.
And so, when the living entity is bewildered in his desires, the Lord allows him to fulfill those desires, but the Lord is never responsible for the actions and the reaction of the particular situation, which may
Exactly.
be desired.
Yes, so the Lord fulfills our desires, but He is not responsible for our desires. We are responsible for what we do. So let's split here so that we can pass, yes, read further. You can pass, yeah, maybe here or there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Being in a bewildered condition, therefore the embodied soul identifies himself with a circumstantial material body and becomes subjected to the temporary misery and happiness of life. The Lord is the constant companion of the living entity as Paramatma.
So in other words, in our heart we have our soul and we have the Lord Himself in the form of Paramatma.
Or the super soul, and therefore he can understand the desires of the individual soul as one can smell the fragrances of a flower by being near it. Desire is a subtle form of conditioning for the living entity. The Lord fulfills his desire as he deserves.
So the Lord fulfills our desires as we deserve. We may
Man-
have multiple desires, but
Yeah.
not all of them are fulfilled. Only those that we deserve to get.
Man proposes and God disposes. The individual is not, therefore, omnipotent in fulfilling his desires. The Lord, however, can fulfill all desires, and the Lord, being neutral to everyone, does not interfere with the desires of the minute, independent living entities. However, when one desires Krishna, the Lord takes special care and encourages one to desire in such a way that one can attain to him and be eternally happy.
This is very important. Once we dedicate our desire, which comes again from our heart and intelligence and our senses, to Krishna, when we desire Krishna, then Lord takes his special care, his personal care of that person. And he fulfills that desire in a way that makes the person eternally happy. Okay, so let's finish here. It looks like, yeah, we have 1 minute before the deities get open. If you have any questions, it's actually time passed by, you would like to share any realizations, I will be here during the arati. You can come, ask your questions. And just in a few words, did you enjoy today's session? Yes? Okay, wonderful. Please read Bhagavad Gita again, meditate on those verses that we read today, and I will be very happy to see you at Tuesday Sangha next week at 6:30. Hare Krishna. Please come and enjoy prasadam.